Today, the New York Giants fired Brian Daboll as the team gets set to take on the Green Bay Packers next week. Entering the 2025 season, we knew this team was going to be playing the NFL's #1 toughest schedule. But they played much differently than they did in the prior couple of seasons. And a lot of that has to do with their offensive performance under Brian Daboll. So let's discuss. As I wrote in my 2025 preview, the Giants have been losing at halftime in 33 games the last 3 years, #1 most in the NFL. They had to figure out a different way to start games much faster this year, but going up against such a tough schedule made that a daunting assignment. However, in 2025, listen to some of these stats. This year's Giants ranked #9 in first quarter points per drive at 2.2. Last year, they ranked dead last at 0.7. This year, they ranked #6 in touchdowns per drive in the first quarter at 28%. Last year, they ranked dead last at 5%. This year, they ranked #5 in percentage of drives to reach the red zone at 40%, after ranking #31 at 18% the prior 2 years. As a result of being better earlier on in games, the Giants trailed after the first quarter in just 3 out of 10 games this year. The only other teams to trail less frequently than the Giants after the first quarter, the Eagles, the Colts, the Packers, and the Cardinals. That's it, just 4 teams. The prior 2 years, the Giants trailed after the first quarter in 22 out of 34 games. So the 2025 Giants improved from a 65% trail rate to only a 30% trail rate this year. New York did a much better job scripting plays and jumping out to leads this year. They were shockingly one of the better teams in the NFL in that department. That's not what caused this problem. What undid them and caused them to lose 8 of their 10 games was late game situations, blowing multiple fourth quarter leads along the way. It also didn't help that they found their next potential franchise quarterback in the draft, but he suffered multiple concussions while running with the football this year. Jackson Dart led all quarterbacks with 25 designed runs. Now, Brian Daboll knows that quarterback runs are a very efficient play in the NFL. But as we discussed a few weeks back, the Giants had to figure out a way for Jackson Dart to get down before taking so many hits, and unfortunately, he suffered another concussion on Sunday. The combination of blown leads and quarterback injury are probably 2 of the key factors at play here. The Giants didn't have the success overall that they wanted to with Brian Daboll and decided after 10 games this year it was time to move on. Looking back, Daboll inherited a terrible team with a horrible offensive line and a quarterback situation, but surprised everyone his first year on the job, leading the Giants to the playoffs and a playoff win, and ultimately the coach of the year. But this year, things were different, and every year since that Coach of the Year award, things were different. The schedule was more difficult, couldn't win with these players. This year, they added a lot of new positive players, but they played the most difficult schedule in the NFL and blew a ton of leads. Looking forward, this Giants job is more attractive than the one Daboll inherited. They might actually have found their franchise quarterback, and the roster has been improved. So things are looking up for the future of the New York Giants from a coaching perspective in terms of attracting a leading candidate. For Brian Daboll himself, I think he's going to have plenty of opportunities if he wants to return somewhere as an offensive coordinator and pick his situation. He might pick a situation where he actually has a better quarterback and a better offensive line than anything that he worked with while in New York. For Giants fans, they just want a team that's going to be able to get back to the ultimate prize of winning a Super Bowl. Might not be the most consistent team in the future, but someone that offers that high ceiling like they had with Eli Manning and Tom Coughlin for a couple of years. We'll see if that turns around for this team anytime soon, but Giants fans certainly are hoping that it's going to.